remember the day they told me I was wasting my life. I was just 19, clutching my battered sketchpad in the dim kitchen light, trying to hide the tremor in my hands. My family's laughter echoed like shards of glass. "You're chasing a pipe dream," my father sneered. "You think you'll make a living drawing nonsense? You're embarrassing us with that hobby." My mother shook her head, her eyes filled with disappointment. "You're never going to amount to anything with that ridiculous art. Why can't you just get a real job?" They called me stubborn, naive, deluded. The words cut deeper than any rejection letter. I was their disappointment, a black sheep with paint-stained hands and a head full of impossible dreams. I felt the weight of their ridicule crushing my chest, but beneath it all, a fire ignited. I refused to let their words define me. I packed my battered supplies and left that night. The city was a swirling storm of neon lights and endless noise. I slept in tiny apartments, worked 3 jobs just to buy canvases and brushes. Every rejection, every laugh at my expense fueled me. I painted in alleys, sold my work on the streets, and kept pushing, despite the doubt, despite the fear. Years blurred by in a relentless pursuit. My art improved. I entered competitions, gained a few small wins, and finally I broke through. My paintings caught the eye of galleries. I was featured in shows. The critics called me a rising star. I built a name for myself, a reputation that was mine, not theirs. I proved that persistence, passion, and raw talent could defy the odds. But the real test came when I decided to take what I had earned, what I had fought so hard for, and return home. Not to gloat, not to rub it in their faces, but to show them what I'd become. To show them that their doubts had only fueled my fire. I arrived unannounced one cold evening. The house looked the same from the outside. Small, warm, familiar. But inside, I was unrecognizable. The artist I had become bore no resemblance to the trembling kid they once mocked. My clothes were sharp, my eyes steady. I carried a portfolio of my latest work, pieces that captured emotion, light, life. They were in the living room when I walked in, my father, mother, brother, frozen in place as they saw me. They stared, eyes wide with disbelief, as I laid my portfolio on the table. "Mom," I said softly but firmly. "Dad, I've come home to show you what I've built. Not just a career, but a life I'm proud of." They looked at the paintings, vivid scenes of hope, struggle, triumph, each one telling a story that I'd poured my soul into. Silence stretched. My father's jaw clenched, then loosened as he looked away. My mother's eyes welled with tears, but her face was locked in shock. My brother's mouth opened as if to say something, but no words came. I stepped closer, voice steady. "Remember when you told me I'd never make it? That I was embarrassing us? That my dreams were stupid?" Their faces flushed with the memory. A wave of cold anger mixed with a strange, bittersweet satisfaction washed over me. "I didn't come back to rub it in," I continued. "I came to show you that your doubts almost broke me, but I refused to let them. Every insult, every failure, it all made me stronger. I built something real, something that matters. You wanted me to give up on my passion, but I proved that passion can be your salvation." The room was silent, heavy with unspoken apologies and stunned acknowledgement. My mother finally stepped forward, touching one of my paintings gently. Her voice trembled. "I didn't see the worth in your dreams back then. I was blinded by fear and tradition. But I see now." Father looked away, but I caught the flicker of pride in his eyes. My brother finally broke the silence. "You made it. You really made it." I looked at their faces, so full of shock, regret, maybe even a little pride, and I felt the weight lift. I had returned not just victorious, but redeemed. Not just for myself, but for every time they doubted me, for every sleepless night, every tear shed in loneliness. This wasn't just about art or success. It was about resilience, about turning rejection into fuel, about proving that no matter how hard they try to tear you down, if you hold on to your dreams, you can rise above. As I packed up my paintings, I knew this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. The moment they saw what I'd become, what I'd always been capable of, was the moment I finally found peace. And I walked out that door knowing I'd faced my demons and won. Not with arrogance, but with quiet strength. Because sometimes the greatest revenge is simply living your truth and showing the world, and especially your doubters, that you are more than their worst words. That's how you turn rejection into redemption. That's how you prove that your dreams are worth fighting for.